One day, Mr. Robert, a philosophy teacher, was walking with his students near a local farmer's market. The morning sun was warm, and the air carried the smell of fresh produce. With him were a few students, Ryan, Jake, Daniel, and some others. They were chatting casually until they came across a strange sight. Not far from them, a man was trying to pull a cow with a rope. The man's face was red with effort, his hands gripping tightly. But the cow simply refused to move. It stood still, stubborn and unmoved, ignoring every tug. Mr. Robert stopped and raised his hand. "Hold on a second," he said to the man, then turned to his students. "Come closer, everyone. I want to show you something important." The students gathered around, puzzled by what could possibly be so philosophical about a man and a cow. Mr. Robert pointed at the scene and asked calmly, "Tell me, who do you think is truly tied to whom? Is the cow tied to the man, or is the man tied to the cow? Who is the master and who is the servant?" Jake immediately answered, "Sir, it's obvious. The man is the master because he's the one holding the rope. The cow is tied, so wherever the man goes, the cow must follow. Clearly, the cow is the servant." The teacher smiled gently, his eyes glinting with meaning. "That's a good answer," he said, "but let's look closer." He reached into his backpack, pulled out a small pair of scissors, and to everyone's surprise, he cut the rope. The sound of the snap made the cow jerk for a moment before it suddenly ran away, leaving the man shouting and chasing after it in panic. The students burst out laughing, but Mr. Robert raised a hand again. "Now look," he said softly. "Who was really tied to whom? The cow had no interest in the man. It wanted to be free, yet the man is now the one running after it. That means he was the one truly tied, not the cow." The students fell silent. Mr. Robert's words began to sink in. "This," he continued, "is exactly how our minds work. The cow represents all the negative thoughts we carry. Anger, jealousy, fear, pride. We believe we control them, but in truth, they control us. We hold onto them tightly, thinking they're part of who we are. But when we stop being attached to them, when we let them go, they disappear, just like the cow did." He looked at his students with warmth. "Many of us live our whole lives clinging to these invisible ropes, to resentment, comparison, and the need to control others. We fill our minds with useless noise, thinking it gives us power, but it only keeps us trapped. Sometimes, we even get used to it, almost comfortable in our misery. But peace begins the moment we lose interest in these heavy thoughts. When you no longer feed them with your attention, they fade away." The group stood still, watching the man in the distance, now just a small figure still chasing his runaway cow. "See, mister," Robert said, "we often think we own things, our possessions, our relationships, even our opinions. But if we depend on them for happiness, we become their servants. The more we cling, the more control we lose. Freedom isn't about owning, it's about releasing. When you learn to let go, you stop chasing, you start living." His tone grew softer. "Remember this, being free and peaceful is a choice, not a gift. You can choose it right now. You can let go of the mental clutter and begin anew. A quiet, empty mind is not a loss. It's the most peaceful place you can ever live in." As they began walking again, the students remained thoughtful, each one lost in reflection. The noise of the market seemed distant now. Mr. Robert smiled to himself. He knew the lesson would stay with them for a long time. At the end of the walk, he turned and said, "If you find meaning in this story, share it with others. Help someone else see that freedom starts from within. Be patient, be thankful, and keep moving forward, because every step you take without chasing after something is a step closer to true peace."